for me, this isn't just about entertainment. It's a ministry. It's an opportunity to open doors and change lives. You know, like I said, as a kid, I wanted to be a filmmaker, but I didn't think it was possible. You know, in the same way I didn't think it was possible. A lot of these people, they didn't think, you know, it was possible. You know what I mean?
What up, though, Black Friday family? Welcome back to another installment of the Black Fridays podcast. Today, I have a guest who is telling the beautiful stories of Detroit from a lot of different lenses and perspective, and from a very real perspective as well. I have Mr. Legend in the building. How you doing today, Legend?
What's good, sir? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Appreciate you being here. Now, you are a writer, director, filmmaker, and you've been doing so. I think I heard before we started rolling that you 9 films in right now.
I'm at about
probably more than that.
About 7. By the end of this year, I'll be at 10.
Nice.
I'm staying busy.
So how does this start? How does one wake up and say, I want to produce films and I want to tell stories about my city and my people?
First of all, can I curse?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, I gotta ask that question. To be honest, I always wanted to be a filmmaker, but growing up here, we didn't have the means to go to film school or anything like that. So I kind of just got that out of my head. As I got a little bit older, I figured I want to just focus on the writing part. So I started writing poetry, short stories, things of that nature. One day I got presented with the opportunity. A friend of mine that came to me and told me that some filmmakers would look for writers. And I was like, cool. My bargaining chip was, hey, I'll go ahead and write the script if you guys teach me how to make a movie. So they were like, okay, cool. So we went ahead and did that. Started that process. Needless to say, it's different when you watch somebody fucking up your material. And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, I could direct. So I got presented with the opportunity like years later to actually have the opportunity to, you know, direct my own film. I directed someone else's film in 2010. I shot music videos for a while. And then in 2020, after my son went off to college, I said, hey, all right, I want to get back into filmmaking and do it full time. So that's what I did. Got you. And in terms of the projects that you've been able to work on, could you invite us into your catalog? I've had a chance to see a few of your films, but would love for you to let us know about the projects that you worked on that we might not necessarily know about too, in addition to the ones that we do know about. All right. The first one is Asbury Park is always my beginning. That was my first film that I wrote, direct, produced. And I just really want to tell the story of my neighborhood. I dated a girl from the suburbs who grew up with 2-parent home and well off or whatnot. And I remember one day while we were dating, we were watching TV and on the news, a kid that got arrested for drugs. And she was like, yo, there's never a reason to sell drugs. And I'm looking at her like, bullshit. Right. You know, there's a lot of reasons. Yeah, no, for real. And I think the common misconception for people that don't come from that type of environment is that those are things that people want to do. People want to sell drugs like it's a game. And it's like, no, man, you know, I know people that sell drugs to pay the water bill. Mm-hmm. You know, when I was a kid, I had real problems. You know what I mean? And I remember one of my teachers, she had got on me when I was in high school. And she was like, well, you know, you're falling asleep in class and you don't do your homework, you're going to fail my class. And I told her, and I was like, look, I'm not trying to disrespect your class. You're a good teacher. You know, I get A's on my classwork. I get A's on my tests because you're a good teacher. But when I go home, I got real problems. I got real life stuff that I'm dealing with. Fact. You know what I'm saying? But from the outside lens, people see you as like, oh, yeah, he's a bad kid, or he's like, no, I got real shit at home that I'm dealing with. And that's the thing. So I really want to tell that story. That was important. So essentially, Asbury Park is the hood for dummies. For sure. For sure. So I want to know more about your background, your story, how you got into this whole industry, but I want to introduce you to my favorite part of Black Fridays, which is Freestyle Fridays. Okay. So, Legend, you gotta give us some bars. Like you gotta freestyle. You gotta. You said you used to write poetry. You can do poem. You can sing.
however you want to break this down, we can
Do I get a beat?
YouTube and all that type of stuff. I don't want to get our stuff taken down. So no, I'm messing with you. So
I'm like, look, we
So we're Freestyle Fridays, just random assortment of questions. They all about you. We just rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So yeah, it should be easy. You should know all the answers about yourself. So I just need you to answer each one and answer honestly.
Okay.
All right. So first one, what is your favorite project of yours to date?
Asbury Park.
Okay, fair enough. That's the baby. That's the first one. What is your favorite movie or TV show of all time? And you can't mention any of your projects.
Crash.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That was
Crash.
That was one of the ones.
Yep, Crash.
Let's see. What are you listening to right now? What do you have in rotation?
Emmanuel, Art Therapy.
Who is?
So you ain't even here.
No, I ain't know. Put me on.
Emmanuel is an independent artist, kind of R&B artist. He's dope. And pretty much his album was the album of me and my fiance, or me and my wife now.
There you go. Yeah, it's fresh.
Me and my wife's relationship, and you just talk about ups and downs of relationships. I proposed to her to one of his songs. His songs played at our wedding, and it's just dope because it just deals his album Art Therapy. Shameless plug. Just gives a lot of insight into real relationships. The good, the bad, the ugly, the fix it. I need to do this a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Self-checking. So it's dope.
And last but not least, what is something that you want people to know about Detroit, your city, that you think people don't necessarily pay enough attention to?
I couldn't tell you at all. I don't know. You got me stumped on that one. Like I was born in this motherfucker. I don't know. But but I think people know. Like I think people know about the talent here, the artistry here. You have whether we're talking about music or art or acting or anything, Detroit is shining all over the world. You know what I'm saying? So that's no longer a secret. And then you're seeing a lot of more events here because now Detroit is starting to be seen as more socially acceptable. So they know it's not just a ghetto. Where a camera at? I wish motherfuckers would quit acting like they ain't got ghettos where they at. Y'all got them shits too. It ain't just ours. Our ghetto is like, our ghetto a little different. Right. But y'all got them too. So whatever.
Yeah. I was telling my wife, because we spent some time out in Seattle, that in different cities, they just dress it up a little bit differently. Yeah. So like they may actually put cardboard on the building where we may not.
Look, if you done been to LA, Hollywood.
Yeah.
You like, it's the hood over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like this what y'all be doing on
like
these premieres?
Miami, here's the hood over here. So quit acting like y'all ghettos is better than our ghettos. We all got ghettos. We're going to be all right.
Facts. Well, appreciate you for diving into Freestyle Fridays.
I thought I was going to have to spit for real, man.
If you're ready, we can call up Helliva and be like,
I will. Nah, I'm good on it. But he'll laugh me out of that boy, but there ain't nothing I can't do.
For sure. We appreciate it. So one of my burning questions that I would love to know is like my standpoint of independent filmmakers, especially from the city of Detroit, who have ushered in this revolution of creativity from the standpoint of projects that I've seen. I first started watching on like Amazon Prime, some other independent streaming platforms, Tubi, of course. I feel like it started here in Detroit. I feel like Detroit was kind of like the hub in the beginning of that wave in terms of the volume and then also the content creation of those stories. And I want to know from your perspective and the projects that you've done and that you worked on, where do you feel like your contributions, where do you feel like you were able to contribute to kind of like that revolution of this market that we're in right now of people independently making films, not waiting for Hollywood, not waiting for a big break?
I think it's weird because I'm kind of a hybrid where I've been in this business since 2006, right? And so a lot of the top filmmakers around here started around that same time. So I'm technically part of that group, right? But then I stepped away from everything because I was a single father and I came in back in 2020. So I'm kind of part of the new group too. Okay. And so I'm like I said, I'm not hybrid. So when the old heads start kind of talking shit about the new ones, I kind of jump in and defend them because I'm one of them a little bit. But where I fit in, where like a lot of people are looking for the more popular Detroit actors, I'm not. And it's not that I don't appreciate y'all talent and all that good stuff. I just ain't really trying to fuck with y'all for real. For me, it's about creating opportunities for people that don't have them. You know what I'm saying? So if someone was to look at my films, they'll see fresh faces who are brought to the forefront and then have opportunities. And most people that have worked with me have gone on to do bigger things and be consistently, leads and things like that. For example, like Kia B, who was in Absence of Innocence. Prior to my film, she had worked on several projects, but she was always like the girlfriend or the side chick or something small. Where after working on Absence of Innocence and showing that she could be a leading lady, she's gone on and been leading lady for several other films, and she's out here killing it. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that I'm super proud of. Denzel, he was also in Absence of Innocence.
I wasn't in the movie. You didn't call me up.
No,
I didn't get that call.
I called and
you talking about Dan?
Yeah.
I'm messing with you.
I was about to blame the white, but he wasn't really known prior to Absence of Innocence, and so that's the movie that kind of put him on the map. And now he's gone on and he's doing a lot of great things. And for me, that's what I'm most proud of. I'm typically, if it's somebody who's worked on other projects, it may be Coney Island Girl #6. And like, okay, well, hey, wait a minute. Y'all know she can act up. Let's put her in the front. And then she come out here and show out and then kind of. So when you talk about the mark that I've left, I've been really good at finding talent. Whether it's, like I said, finding Coney Island Girl #6 or grabbing somebody from off the street and putting them in front of the camera. That's really worked for me. And I'm really proud of that. And also just really working, taking the time. Like I coached basketball for 15 years. And so I like the development process. I like being there and taking somebody who, your cousin was a little rough. But
shout out to Kia.
Yep. Shout out to Kia. I love you, girl. But she had never done a film before, so she came on board. We worked with her. And now she's actually being recognized when she's out here. People are seeing her. Look at somebody like, I don't know if you know Quentin Sharp. If you've watched any two movies, you've seen him. But Q is phenomenal. But he's done over 20 movies now. Asbury Park was his first movie. And he'll tell you, I pushed and pushed. He didn't get it right. I pushed. But to watch people step into their spaces and really, really do their thing, that's the biggest joy for me. So that's where I've had the biggest impact.
And I'm gonna tell you why I appreciate that, because you mentioned my cousin Kia. That was her first time acting, and the beauty behind that was me watching the film. Of course, I'm going to support my family, but when I watched it and I saw her in that first scene, I'm like, hold on, you sure this your first film? Like you looking like a vet right now. Like you killing it as far as your acting and what you bring into the film, which I thought was really dope and excited to be able to see that for her. But then also, like you said, being able to take chances on people or see something that people they don't necessarily see in themselves. And on the reverse, I wanted to ask you, why do you think it would be important for talent who are seeking to get into the entertainment industry by way of acting, let's say, to take a chance or to not overlook opportunities of being in independent films, or maybe let's say films with smaller budgets or things like that? Because just like basketball, a kid may be like, I'm going D1, I got to go here. But it's just like, that you can be 12th man on D1 team, or you can be the man on this either smaller D1 or D2 team. But really just like, we're going where you celebrate it, not tolerate it, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super important. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's situation is different. But when you do it, you got to put the ego aside. Like when I really got into this, like I found out my friend Darren was making movies. We grew up together, and I found like, wait a minute, Darren doing movies and videos? So I hit him up, and I started out pushing him on the dolly. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, bro, I'll come work for free. And keep in mind, it was super unsexy. Shout out to Darren Brown. I love you, dog. But he on the side, we'd finished with the video shoot. He on the side kicking it with the girls because, he's the director. I'm sitting up here rapping chorus and moving boxes and moving lights, and it was super unsexy. But it put me in a position to, number one, be around, to be able to ask questions, to see what a real film set looks like and runs like. And those are the things that allow me to do what I do now. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just, oh, wait, he ain't paying me no money, or he ain't not giving me this, that, and the other. And I think a lot of times people have this mindset of, well, I ain't working for free. No, stupid ass, you working to get experience.
Right. You
working to get your foot in the door. You know, and like for me, saying, hey, I'll be willing to work for free got me on sets where I was able to network and talk to other people that were there. I wouldn't have had that opportunity. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, so we talk about people, you know, being concerned about, don't worry about the budget of the film. Can you work? Can you do something? You know, can you get some reps being in front of a camera? You know what I'm saying? When you starting out, just, I mean, and I'm not saying compromise your morals and integrity or whatnot.
Right.
But look, if they want you to play crackhead, play the crackhead. If they want you to play Coney Island girl, play the Coney. Start building it real, you know. But I've come across people like, well, you need to pay me for this, you need to pay me for that. And I'm like, what have you done? Nothing. So you want me to take a risk on you and you ain't did nothing, and you gonna charge my arm and leg to do it, huh? It's too many people that want to do this. It's too many people, not just here, not just in your city, but it's too many people around the world that want to do this. People are literally leaving where they are and moving to Detroit to be a part of this independent film community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talked to somebody just today who lives in Baltimore. Excuse me. She's like, hey, I plan on moving to Detroit. She's like, hey, I'll fly myself out and work for free just to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a very attractive female, you know, who, based on the reels that she sent me, actually has talent. You know, so it's like, embrace every opportunity. Embrace all of them. Stop, you know, leave the diva shit at home. Right. And that goes for men and women.
For sure. For sure. And I've seen like some different situations where people may feel like they wasn't properly compensated for like the work that they did, working with independent filmmakers and having some issues with that. But to your point, you definitely have to go, especially if you're starting out early, you got to do it for the experience. You can't necessarily do it for what you feel like you're going to get from like compensation standpoint. Because that might last you a weekend. You get that money.
But think about it like this, like, and I know you probably heard it, like people like, well, Chris Tucker only got paid $5,000 for Friday.
Right.
Yeah, but it opened up doors for him to make millions.
Yeah, Chris, this is a period of time. Chris Tucker was the man.
You know what I'm saying? I saw something earlier today, and it was talking about Kid and Play only got paid like $4,000 for House Party. Again, but it opened the door for so much, you know? And then people, like, it's always funny to me when I hear people complain about compensation after the fact. I'm like, you didn't have to do shit.
Yeah.
You signed the contract.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't sit back after the fact and be like, oh, that movie blew up and you could have not did it. You know what I mean? So, and then what actors, I think a lot of times don't understand is, as filmmakers, we're taking the risk. You're getting paid regardless. If this thing does numbers or if it flops, you get your check. Guess what? I'm still trying to get my money back.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. And if you don't like the compensation, just go make your own movies. But I think once people get to the point where they do that, they see everything with a different eye, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, "Oh, okay, I get it now."
Right.
You know, so I think it's, you know, people always gonna complain. There's people though.
So I'm always interested in the business side of it. How does that work when you're trying to negotiate with a group of actors, producers, directors, when you're putting together a project? Like, how do the negotiations work out?
Is for me, it depends. For me. Again, I get a lot of newer actors, you know, so, and I also know that what I have to put into an actor, you know, now if it's a veteran actor, I'll just ask them what their rate is. And if it's somebody who I'm interested in paying that rate for, then okay. Like, I'm not a person who is saying, like, if somebody says, well, pay me $10,000 a movie. I'm not mad at that. Like, you probably don't get that from me, you know, but I'm not mad at you for getting your money. You know, other people are clearly paying you that rate. I'm not mad at that. No love lost. I'm going to tell you to go get your bag. You know what I mean? But if it's a situation where I feel like where I'm just sold on that one person and, you know, I just really want them, then I'll give what they ask for. I don't have an issue with that. So.
Bet. That's dope. Now, in terms of the In terms of the work that you've done so far, the projects that you've been able to put together, what has it been like for you on the production side of things and taking your idea from pen or ink, however you start your writing process, to actually getting it streaming on different platforms and getting it out to the public?
Okay, so give me that question one more time.
So what has it been like? What has your process been like in terms of project that you've done thus far, from idea to actually implementation and getting it out to the public and people being able to see your work?
Okay. First of all, I'm a writer first. I tell anybody that before a director, producer, anything else, I'm a writer first. And so it's really important for me. Like, story is important to me. You know, I don't do this for the money. I do this because I have a story to tell. Like, I used to tell people I'm probably the worst author in the world because I've got 9 books and people probably don't know most of them exist. So shout out to Kelly. We're going to let him know. But it was, for me, it was never about the money. It was just about the story. So actually sitting down and actually putting together a script that I feel is important. And I don't just want to be that person to just entertain. I want to actually say something. I actually want people to think. So it's a common thing. If you look at all my films, it's something that's thought provoking. It's not just, hey, look, some stuff happened. Like, no, like, think about this shit. So once I finish the writing process, I have a very strong team, and we can tip from the moment we have the script finalized, roughly 2 months before we actually, go to production, 6 weeks, go to production. We typically, filming usually takes between 7 and 10 days, knock those out. And then we go to post-production, roughly 30 days. So we're looking at like a 90-day window from conception to completion. Mm-hmm. So, and it's a dope process. Like, my team and I, we're in sync now, and we kind of figured it out. Now, when I shot Asbury Park, I probably shot Asbury Park over the course of 5-6 months. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go super slow since it was, again, my first movie. I didn't want to miss anything or miss a step. But once I had a full understanding of what everything was, we can shoot a film within 7 to 10 days now.
And you mentioned that you have a team that you work with now.
Absolutely. And
I'm assuming that's your own production company, right?
Yes, IB Media.
So how did you build that out for any independent or potential look forward thinking independent filmmakers? How did you build out your team to start to run off these projects?
All right, let me break it down for you. I was a person who wanted to make a movie, but I didn't have cameras. I didn't have sound. I didn't have editors. And I tell people all the time, it's somebody out there who doesn't have you. And when I say that, I was a writer and I didn't have a camera. It's somebody out there with a camera who can shoot, but I ain't got nothing to shoot. Mm-hmm. He needs me. It's an editor that's cold with editing, but they don't have anything to edit. They need me. It's an actor that's cold with it, but they ain't got a project to be in. They need me. So my job was, hey, let me take all these pieces and be like Voltron. Are you old enough to know what Voltron is?
Come on now. Yeah.
Yeah. Power Rangers.
Come on now. That's my childhood.
Okay. Yeah. So like Power Rangers for those, but it was my job to bring all those people together because we all needed each other. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, growing up poor is my superpower. I stand on that because it wasn't going to be a situation where I was going to out money people. Mm-hmm. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But how can I be creative? So whether I'm shooting with a $20,000 camera or an iPhone, it don't make a difference. Do you know how to properly light? Do you know how to properly handle post-production? And that's why I tell people, don't ever allow money to discourage you from doing what it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? We got technology. And I hate people because I've come across some like film bullies who are like, if you ain't got a $20,000 camera, you ain't doing shit. My viewers don't know what the fuck a $20,000 movie look like. You know what I'm saying? Could you see it? Yeah, they happy. You know what I'm saying? I've never watched a movie. It's like, I know what camera they shot with.
You're right.
And that was a determining factor on whether or not I liked the movie. Denzel was cool and all, but I think they shot on a cheap camera. I've never said it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So again, everything for me is story first. Focus on those story first. Yeah, I forgot where we were going with this, but
Oh, no, that was perfect. That was perfect. In terms of
this shit.
In terms of the people that you've worked with on these projects thus far, including your team, is there any highlights from, like, in terms of production where it was certain things that you were able to make happen that you didn't think were possible initially, or somebody just killed it, actor killed it in the scene, and you're like, damn, I didn't know you was going to bring that to the table? Like, do you have any success stories you can share with us?
I have those magic moments all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because keep in mind, when I select people, let's backtrack. I have a chip on my shoulder. Okay. And when I see somebody who's super talented and you got her playing Coney Island Girl number 7, I think you're a fucking idiot. It was in Asbury Park, a chick named Kaina Vashti. I saw her and she was literally playing Coney Island Girl. That's why I keep referencing Coney Island Girl.
That was Coney Island Girl.
But I brought her in on Asbury Park and she murdered it, man. She played a character named Chicken Mom and she was fucking phenomenal. To the point where when she broke down crying, she has a living room scene where she breaks down crying and the whole crew is on the side just in tears because the passion and everything was there. Most recently, we had one when Where Her Walls Talk, a new actress named Cookie. She delivered a monologue, and again, tears. And for me, it's just like coaching. When you get a player, you're like, yeah, some talent there, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
To get them and actually help shape and mold them, and then watch them excel, and then watch them leave the nest and go, and everybody's like, yeah, she's dope. Yeah, stupid ass, you passed over. You had her as Coney Island Girl number 7.
Right.
You know, the Kaina girl, she left me, and then she went in and was the lead in a TV series. You know what I'm saying? Cookie left me, and she got probably 3 or 4 more films, because when I got the clip, I sent it to probably about 4 or 5 different directors, like, yo, she up next. Y'all better get her. And sure enough, they jumped on her. You know what I'm saying? So she actually just moved from Grand Rapids to Detroit because now she's booked and busy. You know, so it's a ton of success stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ton of them. But for me, this isn't just about entertainment. It's a ministry. It's an opportunity to open doors and change lives. You know, like I said, as a kid, I wanted to be a filmmaker, but I didn't think it was possible. You know, in the same way, I didn't think it was possible. A lot of these people, they didn't think, it was possible. You know what I mean? Just kind of referencing Cookie, because you just made me think about, like, Cookie saw my movie Absence of Innocence, and she inboxed me, and she was just telling me my movie was dope.
Mm-hmm.
And when I looked at her picture, I saw she was an attractive female, and I asked her if she had ever acted before. She said she had went to Atlanta trying to act, but things didn't work out. So I sent her an audition side for the new movie that I was working on, City Boy. And she, had a really good audition and brought out, and she started her first movie. You know what I'm saying? These are success stories for me. These are wins for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Bianca Simone, she starred in my film Omission. Now she's doing, she's staying booked and busy all over the place, but Omission was her first lead role.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were sitting down on the couch, and she was like, how do people remember all these lines? So, you got it. We kind of worked through it.
Yeah.
And she did a phenomenal job in Omission. So to watch actors grow and kind of go into I don't get mad when they, when they get to the point where they charge more than, I can afford. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm seriously, I'm standing back and I'm clapping and watching people go and live out their dreams. Man, this is dope for me.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
I'm sitting, as you mentioned that, I'm sitting here trying to think about and I personally love Tubi and the independent projects that come through platforms like that. But why does Tubi get such a bad rap?
Because niggas is haters. It is. Like for real. And I hate to be that person. Because niggas is haters. You know what I'm saying? It's like you see people who are actually making it happen. What is it? Denzel Washington is on Tubi. Mm-hmm. Is he a Tubi actor?
Technically, yeah, but
But who gonna say that shit? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So Tubi is a platform. It's allowing people to actually do this. It's allowing people to make a living in front of the camera and behind it.
Right.
But niggas is always gonna be niggas. You know what I mean? That's what it all come down to. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
if I walk in here dressed nice, then it's he think he all that. If I come in here dressed like a bum,
He fell off.
his head.
Yeah, you fell off.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never gonna make you happy, but I think just like with most things in life, you know, you develop a thick skin and you learn how to tune those people out and just continue to do what you do. Because I give zero fucks about what nobody think about me.
That's the way it got to be.
Yeah, so most people tell you. That's the common reputation. Legend don't give a fuck. He don't. But I had the opportunity to do what I love. I had the opportunity to impact lives. You know, provide for my family and things like that. So I'm just gonna continue doing what I'm doing.
For sure. So all right, let's keep it a buck. There are some projects out there that just are not up to par. They're not quality. They're not up to par. So what are some of these filmmakers, what are they getting wrong in terms of their approach to this game?
I'm gonna tell you this. Remember I told you I'm a hybrid, right?
Yeah.
Part of the old crew, part of the new crew. A lot of the people who are talking shit about the newer group or the people that's getting it wrong, the people that's making mistakes. Nigga, I saw y'all first shit. I saw y'all first movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all ain't get it right either. You know what I'm saying? We can sit back and dust. Like, I look back at some of my older stuff and be like, ugh. Like the first music video I shot, I turned it into a movie. It's supposed to be a music video. I turned it into like a 6-minute video movie. I was on some old Michael Jackson type stuff, right? Yeah. But keep in mind, I didn't know lighting. I went and picked up some work lights from Home Depot and was just trying to make it work. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. So a lot of these filmmakers who making these movies that don't get it, they trying to make it work. They trying to figure it out. And instead of bashing, let's do more mentorship. Hey, young dog, look, I saw you did such and such and so, but what you could have did was this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. That's one of the things that I try to provide for actors, for filmmakers. I was just speaking earlier about somebody's project, and they asked for a critique, and I was like, yeah, the critique was I didn't hear the knife fall. You know what I'm saying? Get a little sound effect, put that in there, cool. Not to beat up your movie, but it's like now going forward,
you can look out for stuff like that. Make
sure that, and that's the thing, like I done made mistakes and then got critiqued, and it's like, okay, well, cool. Let me go fix this. Let me do that. You learn those, but it's a huge difference between hating and constructive criticism.
Right.
Hating is, well, I mean, I just think your project was whack.
Yeah. I don't like it because you did it, or I ain't think of it first.
You know what I mean? Constructive criticism is your storyline was all over the place. Or you started in this direction, but then you went here. You know, you opened this up, but you didn't close it. You know, that's constructive criticism. That's how people grow. Right. Excuse me. But on the flip side, the same way people have to be willing to give constructive criticism, people have to be open to taking it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you a hater. No, your shit didn't make no sense. Yeah. Well, why didn't it make sense? If I tell you it don't make sense, I can tell you why it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But people are so dismissive because, and I tell people this all the time, people always laugh when I say it. Your movie, the night of your movie premiere, you're going to get lied to more on that night than any other time. Because everybody is in your face and they don't want to look like a hater. Oh, that was great. That was great. That was the best movie I ever saw. I don't trust a motherfucker to tell me nothing on the night of my premiere at all. Yeah. Now, if you call me the day after or you give me some feedback a couple of days after, okay, I trust that because you didn't have to. Right. You know, but when somebody's right in your face, you look like this.
Oh, I loved it. Everything.
Yeah, that was great. Right. It's like having an ugly baby. Like, you know, I got caught a couple times, and you know, I'm again because I feel this way. I always keep it a buck with people. I don't tear them down, but I'll be like, "Hey, man, I'm proud of you for getting it done." That's what you're gonna get because it's hard, right? For sure. You know what I mean? It's hard,
and sticking it through. That's definitely an accomplishment. Yeah.
Like filmmaking, I know people popping out movies, but it's not something easy to do because you have to manage a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody's come through. You're trying to keep it organized. you got equipment, you got a lot of moving parts. So if you're able to pull it off, then hey, kudos to you for getting it done.
Right.
Whether it's a quote unquote good movie or a bad movie. But it's just like anything else. And like I said earlier, I was like, man, I'm still learning, I'm still growing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done 7 films. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're constantly on. Like now I'm in a space where I'm dealing with more like green screen and artificial elements in movies and stuff like that. I'm comfortable experimenting and just, pushing my boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my movie Black Lies, it was a scene where I was like, hey, I wonder if I could chop off the sides of this building and then run a train behind it and call it a train station. And I did it.
It happened.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's like, just trying new things and not being afraid to try new things. Like I just saw a movie by Diesel. This Kung Fu movie. I can't remember. I hate that I can't remember the name of it.
I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name of it too, but yeah.
But it just came out on Tubi and he did a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't the typical Tubi movie, but I love the fact that he pushed the envelope, did something different.
Mm-hmm.
He took a gamble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I hope it pays off for him. But I laughed. Me and my wife, we laughed. We enjoyed it.
On that point, how come we don't have more comedies? I want to see more Detroit comedies like Buffed Up.
I think just like with the Hollywood film industry, people
Parody
is monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
If we see this type of movie is making money and that's what we hear, then we're going to go make one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I would like to see the film industry grow in a space where it's more original content.
Yeah.
But, and it's going to sound like shade, but it's the truth. Not enough people focus on writing. We don't have enough, in my opinion, we don't have enough real writers. And when I say real writers, I'm not talking about somebody who just put an idea on paper. To put in perspective, and I tease, I got a close friend of mine who's the DP. And he's super particular about the images and the lighting and stuff like that. And I always tease him about it, but like
DP is director of photography, right?
Director of photography,
okay.
Cinematographer. And I always pick with him. I'm like, so if I push the red button on the camera, am I a DP? He was like, no, man, it's a skill. You took years of experience in this. So motherfucker, why you think when you write something on paper, you're a writer? You know what I'm saying? Like real writers get punched in the face. And when I say that is we write something, it's critiqued. We're told that it's wrong. We told how it needs to be improved and we go back and we rewrite.
Yeah.
That's what real writers go through. A lot of people who are writing a lot of these things are writing something on paper and saying, okay, we're done. With nobody to critique it or criticize it. And it's like, that's not a bad thing. It's just part of the process.
Yeah.
That's just like Michael Jordan had a coach.
Right.
Best basketball player on the planet. He had a coach. He had somebody to say, Mike, you fucking up.
Yeah.
That's part of the process. And I think to your point, the reason why we don't have a lot of the more original stuff is because I don't think writers are valued like they should be. I think people just feel like, oh, I have an idea, I'm going to write it down, and that's that. And people film it. And it's like, okay. So I think when writers are actually valued more, then you'll get a lot more original type of content, including comedies.
So where are the writers in Detroit? Like or have they just not, enough of them haven't been found or discovered yet?
No, it's here, but you have a lot of people who feel like I can do it myself. Like I know how to shoot. Like I said, I used to shoot music videos, so I know how to shoot, but I'm not great at it. And so I'd rather somebody who that's what they do and they focus on that. I'd rather let them do it as opposed to me jumping my part-time ass out there and fuck it up. Yeah. Let somebody that do it full-time, let them be full-time and actually do that. But like I said, writers are starting to get more opportunities. We're all just trying to figure it out, man. We're all just trying to figure it out.
Speaking of that, you had mentioned that in some of your projects, you try to push the boundaries and explore and figure out what you can do new or innovative. What are there some things that you haven't tried yet in projects that you are looking to explore in the future?
Yeah.
You gonna blow some cars up like Michael Bay?
No, for real.
Okay.
Like I got an action film that we looking to do next summer. I'm excited.
Okay.
Because it's not even just blow up a car. It's like just dumb shit, like jumping from building to building. But here's the thing, I'm a perfectionist and I know I'm under a microscope because I talk a lot of shit. I gotta have my stuff right.
Yeah.
So you can't talk shit and then be whack.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, haha, I got y'all again. But it's a lot of stuff that I do want to try, but I need to make sure that it looks right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching the movie and it was like an explosion. It was like the cheesiest shit ever. You like, and they had a real budget. That's what really pissed me off. It's like, that's what y'all came up with. Like,
Right.
Nah. But again, it goes back to, you know, how to creatively shoot this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Perfect example, like with sex scenes. You know, and again, I know some people, because I'm in a lot of the Tubi groups, they're like, what movie got the best sex scene? You know what I'm saying? Like go to Pornhub, my guy. But but for me, I'm not anti. But when I shot, like when Her Walls Talk,
mm-hmm.
because the title alone gives very grown.
Yeah.
I didn't want nudity in the movie.
Mm.
You know, so I shot it creatively to the point where I think people's minds will connect the dots and we don't have to see nobody's goodies. Yeah, we ain't got to see nobody's goodies are seen in this film, but we know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's the same thing whether we talk about action films or sci-fi or anything else. It's really a matter of how it's shot. And that's where I think the creativity, I would like to see the creativity improve. Did you ever you saw the movie Scarface?
Yeah. Okay.
It's a scene in there where the guy's chained in the bathroom in the shower and you see him there and then the guy's coming out with the chainsaw, right? Mm-hmm. They banned that scene from the theaters when it first came out. It was like it was too graphic. But you actually never saw the chainsaw go on his head. Mm-hmm. You saw his face, you saw the chainsaw coming down, and then you see his, you know, kind of just start shaking and the blood coming down. Our minds put those pieces together. Mm-hmm. So I think I would like to see more filmmakers just on the creativity side. Like, let's do some of those higher end things, but let's do it creatively. And it makes sense and it don't look cheesy. Okay. Because you doing it and it looked cheesy, you should have just not did it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
let me ask you this before I get you up out of here. I got to get your expertise. If I am somebody who's looking to make a film, let's say I'm starting out like you and I'm a writer and I'm looking to put together a production, what's the low budget, no budget approach to getting it completed?
Shoot that shit, edit it, put it out. That's it. Is again, whether you got a $20,000 camera or an iPhone, you shoot scenes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I learned this approach just shooting music videos. Shooting music videos are just smaller movies. Mm-hmm. You shoot scenes, you put them together. So if I pull out my Android right now, I always say iPhone first. But if I pull out my Android, I got one. Pull out my Android right now and shoot certain scenes. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I take all those clips, put them together, and now I got a movie. It's not overly complicated. It's not even super expensive. Mm-hmm. Like people ask me all the time, well, what's the budget for, how much do you need? I had a guy who I mentored. He shot his first movie for $5,000. Got his friends, a group of his friends to be the actors. They used their apartments and their cars. Mm-hmm. And the movie made over $50,000. Well, for $5,000 project with your friends. Like the emphasis shouldn't be the budget. Mm-hmm. I think that's where people, like the writer controls everything. Like I could literally write a script about us in this room. Mm-hmm. I got to be creative because it's just us in this room, but I can do it. You know what I'm saying? And let's make it good. You know what I mean? We only need one camera. If you got two, that's great, but you only need one. Mm-hmm. You need a microphone and a recorder, decent sound. I think people need to, and again, I'm going to get shot for this one. I think people need to focus more on purchasing equipment as opposed to just trying to hire somebody. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Purchase your own equipment. Figure out how to use it. Mm-hmm. So if you ain't got a lot of money to pay, because if you want $300 a day, I ain't got it. But for $300 a day, I done bought the same equipment that you got. Right. And I own it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why am I paying you $300 a day when I could buy the same recorder that you got for that same $300 for the first day, buy a microphone for maybe $100 and I'm good forever. And it's mine. Yeah. And it's mine. So, no, sorry.
What about if I'm an actor, aspiring actor, actress, what's my low budget, no budget strategy to getting in the game?
Number one, let it be known that's what it is that you're willing to do. and put in the work. Like don't be that person say I want to do movies and then just be on some bullshit. You know, and like I used to tell people, like my last audition, I do auditions like every 2 years. At my last audition,
you do like general auditions, just for like
I'll do like I don't like to do auditions for every project.
Okay,
just because like I don't like people like that.
But you can kind of build like a portfolio
like,
of
when I do auditions, I get roughly 300, 400 people. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you know I also utilize like social media, Instagram, and stuff like that. But I had a situation where the audition, like a girl that got there, she had probably been there waiting for like 3 hours to come in. She came in and she looked at her phone and started saying the lines. And I stopped her. I'm like, you've been here for 3 fucking hours.
You should know it.
You did, like you were down there and I popped out so you were down there talking. How seriously do I take you? You know what I'm saying? Like I just had 300 people come in before you saying the same shit. And you coming in here reading, like, no, you can be a background actor. You know what I'm saying? Take it seriously. If this is what you want to do, act like this is what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Know your shit. You know, put it on your social media. Like, it was I can't remember her name. But it was a young lady, female actress, and she would literally do monologues from different shows, different movies, and put them on her social media. And it was dope because, like, you know, when the reels would pop up, you'll look like, oh, okay, dang, all right. Couple days, like, oh, dang, okay. Guess what? I know she's serious. Because it's so many people that want to waste your time.
Yeah.
I want to be in a movie. Okay, now you want to be shy. Now you don't want to show up on time. This is a business. I need you showing up on time. I need you prepared. I need you to know your shit. You know, where I'm very hands-on and I'm very much like, hey, you know, let me work and develop you. You have a lot of directors who are like, hey, I expect you to be a professional. You know, so when you show up, I expect you to show up to work, know your lines. Excuse me. And they just critique you, you know, here and there. But you showing up, you don't know your lines, you don't know what you're supposed to do. Funny story. A movie I directed, I don't talk about, we don't talk about Bruno, but I directed it and we were on set and I never got the opportunity to rehearse any of the cast. I'm there, we're in a restaurant. And keep in mind, we only got the restaurant for like an hour and a half. None of the 4 actors knew their damn lines. You know what I mean? And it's like, y'all supposed to be professionals. You know what I'm saying? So going back to your question, if this is what you want to do, let it be known, but also be prepared and take this seriously because too many people want to do this.
Right. Or at least say they want to do it.
No, too many people want to do it for real.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they hungry for it.
Like seriously, like I've had some people in my DM and they monsters. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shoot me this. Like I had a friend of mine, she got a role for a movie with Ashanti and I forgot the other guy's name. The boxer from Harlem Nights, the stuttering guy.
I forgot his name. Yeah.
It was Stan somebody. No disrespect. But she got offered the movie role on Thursday, right? She got cast as the second lead. She had to know everything by Saturday when they started filming. Yeah, she knew that shit by Saturday. She made it. It wasn't I just got it no, if you want to do it, then do it. If the door gets open, you better run your ass through it because if not, somebody else is going to run through it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've seen it in a lot of different areas. I've had people who I've cast who they ain't had that shit together, so I fired them. Because as a director, my job is to get the performance out of you or get you the hell out of there. And I've done it. I had a situation where a guy, he said he wanted to be an actor, gave him an opportunity, gave him a small role. He came on set. And again, I had a lot going on at the time, so I really did get a chance to rehearse it. You know, like, hey, just know what you're supposed to know, get here and be good. We're on set. He's struggling with his lines. Like, dude, this shit ain't that complicated. He's struggling with it. I stopped. I turned around. I was in the bookstore. I turned around. Hey, my man, you, what's up? Hey, come here. I need you to say such, so-and-so. He came over. He said it. All right. You ever acted before? No. You interested? Yeah. Hey, you, take that shit off. My man, go put that shit on. He jumped in. He did. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time to be playing with you. This is my life. You know what I'm saying? So if you choose not to take it seriously, that's cool. But don't be upset when I choose to go in another direction. I don't have time to fuck around with you. This is my time. This is my money. It's my life.
Right.
And everybody around me is taking it seriously. So if you choose not to, then that's on you.
Mm-hmm. But you just can't do that here.
Can't do that here.
Right.
So
Legend, what's next? What do you have in the pipeline? What are you working on that you can share with us that's on the horizon?
Man, I'm excited about a lot. We're actually getting ready to shoot When Her Walls Talk Part 2 and Part 3. We'll be shooting those between now and the end of the year. What everybody has been waiting for and on my head about, we'll be shooting Absence of Innocence 2 at the beginning of next year. I've confirmed with my actor. So everybody's been waiting on that. People been on my head about that one. So it's coming, y'all. It's in development right now. We're working on it. It's being written. Yes, you'll get Absence of Innocence 2.
Dope.
And then I got a TV series that we'll be shooting next year. So
Fire.
I'm definitely excited about that.
Fire. Well, we definitely look forward to being able to see those, especially like I told you, I watched Absence of Innocence. So it was left open for a part 2. I ain't gonna talk too much about it. It was left open for a part 2. I didn't think we would get one, so it's dope that it's on the way.
Now, it wasn't the plan, but they've been on my head so tough. It's like, okay, pressure.
Yeah.
And I've had with Black Lives and Omission, I know a lot of people have wanted part 2s, and I kind of shrugged it off. Like I thought about it, but it was like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the people have spoken.
Yeah.
They on my head about Absence of Innocence Part 2. So I'm super excited about that project. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
So let's say some serious people out there that want to tap in with you, that got some skills, they want to work with you, or they just want to learn more about your production company, your business, your films. Where can they get in contact with you? What's your email, your socials, your website? How can they find you?
Hit me on, because I'm on Instagram. That's the one you want to catch me on. I am Legend KW. Or you can go to just see some of my information, IamLegendKW.com. I'm also I Am Legend KW on Twitter and on Facebook. Yep, I Am Legend KW. I try to be consistent.
Okay.
Yep.
Bet. So make sure that y'all tap in with Legend. Well, we appreciate you for pulling up to the podcast today, man. It's been very eye-opening experience for me, just learning about the industry and your work and how you get to it and make it happen.
Cool. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So everybody watching and listening, before we wrap up this video, make sure you go check out our previous episodes and like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll tap in with y'all soon. Peace.